This has been a project in the making for a long time. My good friend, Mr. James Bowman from Against Me, started a pedal company a few years ago called Bowman Audio Endeavours. You know, him and I are two gear nerds. We are slaves to the gear. That is our god. You know, we've been talking over the years and nerding out about stuff. You know, I'm a big fan of the old Proco Rat. This is actually the first Rat that I ever had, 1986. It's a bitchin' ass Rat. I love this one. And so that basically got James and I talking, okay, well, let's make the best fucking Rat ever. Let's make a Rat that performs the way that I need it to perform, which is I basically use it as a preamp. I don't kind of click it on and off. I do sometimes, I click on a second one on and off, but I keep a Rat on all the time, pretty much any time I'm playing guitar. It's my preamp. And so we basically set out to clone and improve upon the best Rat design that I had ever heard, which, you know, includes the 308 chip, the fabled LM308 chip. James threw in some wickedly high quality pots into the pedal to make sure that the sweep is really wide, there's no crackle. There's a much lower noise threshold with threshold maximizer than any Rat that I've ever tried, which is very handy when you're keeping it on all the time, which I do. So anyways, yeah, this pedal kicks ass. It is the best Rat that I've ever heard. James did some very sweet tweaking to it based on my old 86 Rat, and I am madly in love with this pedal. It is rock solid, hand built, and is basically made to my specs, so how can I fucking not love it? One of the things that I love about the Rat pedal in general, but this pedal is definitely designed to maximize, no pun intended, is while being on all the time, gets the most out of your neck pickup, which I don't really use a lot. I think I've been very vocal in the past about my disdain for the neck pickup, but since really kind of messing around with Rats, I've brightened up to them. The reason why I like it better with a Rat is that it stays clear at very low volume, so you can functionally get a clean channel out of your neck pickup. Now without that on, it's basically off, and when I dial it in, it's muddy. Turn on the threshold maximizer, dial it back a bit. That's why I love it. I mean, it's a perfect pedal to get a lot more out of your guitar. As I said, a lot of people use Rat, boom, step it on, drop the hammer. That is always a great function of the Rat, but as I said, I just keep it on all the time. I kind of keep my settings pretty simple. I adjust it depending on what amp I'm using and what kind of volume I want out of it, but the volume, I just kind of use this as, I really just set this in terms of what amp I'm using and how much volume I want out of the amp. The real magic, I think, with this circuit is in the filter here. I mean, I like to just ride that line right after it's shrill and where you gotta get a humbucker to sound real bright and awesome. So usually around here, and honestly, I keep the distortion pretty low. I think that the distortion knob, it basically turns into a glorious fuzz area here, but as I said, I use this more as a preamp most of the time, and I just want those humbuckers or whatever I'm using to really bark, so I kind of keep it down well below noon. I keep the filter just so that I'm shaved off the all the kind of brittle stuff, and as I said, with the volume, you just kind of set it to how much pain you want to put into your amp. But the best thing about the Rat is it's super simple. It does what it does. It's got some flexibility for sure. It's got a bunch of different sounds in it, but it's not one of those pedals that you're going to get endlessly lost in twiddling trying to find a good sound. You turn it on and it sounds great no matter what you're plugging it into. That's my favorite thing about a Rat. thing that we've done with the threshold maximizer is include a lot more volume. So the Rat is already a loud pedal. This pedal is the loudest Rat style circuit I've ever heard. It works really, really well with my amp. I use a Marshall Super Lead, and the problem that I've found with traditional Rats is that you can only kind of get the volume up to a certain point before it starts squealing. This threshold maximizer circuit has basically made it so that you can get the volume up much higher without that microphonic feedback starting. It's a very stable, rock solid pedal with a better hi-fi sound. As I said, the filter knob on this thing is really flexible. The components are top shelf. You cannot get a higher quality LM308 style circuit than this. So James knocked it absolutely out of the park. We had a great time kind of going back and forth on just kind of throwing ideas at the wall, seeing what would work. And this is the fruits of mostly his labors. I just plugged it in, and I'm having the greatest time ever. So anyways, the threshold maximizer is my perfect Rat, and James helped me realize it over at Bowman Audio Endeavours. So that's my spiel. I hope you dig it. Yeah. Hail, hail, rock and roll.